Welcome to Pete's Corner. I'm Julia Binbrook.
And I'm Brandon Havens.
And for this week's show, we're going to take you all around Stillwater. We'll visit places on the OSU campus and in the Stillwater community and find out the unique history of each one. Welcome to Stillwater, past and present.
OSU hasn't always been the way that it is now. In fact, even our name and our mascot have changed. In 1890, we were founded as Oklahoma A&M, and our mascot was a tiger, as we were commonly referred to as the Princeton of the Plains. In 1923, Pistol Pete became our mascot, and in 1957, we officially became Oklahoma State University.
Old Central, the building behind us right now, was the first building on campus. It was built in 1894. Today, it houses our Honors College, and it's still used every single day. But it's not the only place that students flock to once a day. Theta Pond is a place to relax and enjoy yourself, but it hasn't always been that way. We sent Kanan Childress to find out the story behind Theta Pond.
Ask any Stillwater resident or student what their favorite spot to relax on campus is, and you'll get quite a few answers. One place in particular pops up more often than others, though: Theta Pond. From family walks to feeding the ducks to students studying and even locals taking pictures there, Theta Pond has memories for everyone. Theta Pond was created by a reservoir in 1895. It was remodeled and enlarged in both 1928 and 1943. It was largely used as a watering hole for the college's work animals. And even today, you can sometimes spot a squirrel or other animals enjoying the water. But the pond wasn't always known by Theta Pond. The sorority Kappa Alpha Theta gave the pond its name that we know it by now.
Actually, it gives a sense that we are near the nature, and just now I completed my exam, and now here to reduce the pressure, here you feel the wind, you are more close to the nature, the ducks, the water, that fountain. It feels like very good to me. That's why I usually used to come here.
Theta Pond is known for its blue waters and unique trees. Many people like to come out here to relieve their daily stresses from work and school. Many past and present OSU students have fond moments here at Theta Pond. So, whether you're looking for some ducks to feed or just to get some relaxation, Theta Pond is a place for you. For Pete's Corner, I'm Kanan Childress.
From a watering hole for animals to somewhere that students spend a lot of their time, Theta Pond has really come a long way. Next, we're going to take an inside look at Murray Hall.
All right, let's do it. Many students know Murray Hall for its classrooms, but it's also home to the offices of many people in the Arts and Sciences department.
We're going to sit down with history professor Bill Bryan to talk about its storied history and how it came to be the building that we know now.
Murray Hall was completed in 1935. This coincides with some of the darkest days of the Great Depression. It was part of Bennett's master plan for the campus. Bennett proposed to build dormitories for the campus at this time. At the time it opened, it had a capacity of over 400. It was reported to be the largest women's dormitory on any college campus in the United States. For most of its life, it was a women's dormitory. It became co-ed for a time, and I believe it's about 1982 it closed. When it closed, it pretty much became neglected. It was like they walked away, locked the doors, and that was it. Nobody, went back. But then they began the renovation of this building. But it was a major undertaking, and it was very fitting.
Well, Murray Hall isn't the only building on campus that has a couple secrets in its history. In fact, the Formal Gardens has one that people pass all the time. What is it? It's actually a time capsule, and we're sitting on it right now. This time capsule was dedicated in 1976, and it'll be opened in 2076. Just imagine what'll be in the history books by then.
Well, this time capsule isn't just a part of the Formal Gardens. It's also a neighbor to one of the most popular buildings on campus. It's a place where students go to eat, sleep, hang out, and study. It's the Student Union, and Samantha Simmer is there to tell us about it right now.
Oklahoma State University is always making improvements to buildings on campus so students and visitors have the best experience while they are here. One of the most drastic changes that has occurred over the years is the one made to the Student Union. The Student Union opened its doors to students in August of 1951 as part of an 11-building expansion on campus put in place by President Henry S. Bennett. Bennett vowed that he wouldn't use any taxpayer money to fund the construction for the Union, and ultimately he did succeed. Starting in the fall of 2009, the Student Union went through massive changes.
Went and looked at different student unions around the nation. We took a contingency of students with us and kind of went through different unions and decided what we liked, what we didn't like, what we think would work for our building.
The renovation project cost $63 million, which included removing the once-used bowling alley from the basement and putting in space for students to lounge and study, a new food court area for students to sit in, and making space for all the student organization offices that were crammed in one space before the renovation. Before the renovation project, the biggest complaint students had was the lack of food options in the Union. Since the project completed, students now have 10 options to choose from, with Chick-fil-A being the most popular. Although you can't please everyone, students should be happy with the options they have on campus now as opposed to the options alumni had.
It was very cafeteria style. We had a lot of buffet, serve yourself, basically what you see in like the high school cafeterias of today. There was not technically a food court like you see now.
Since the union has implemented better food options, it has become the top-ranked comprehensive student union in the country, according to bestcollegereviews.org. The union was founded on the concept of building it for the students so they will use it on a daily basis. With this concept in mind, it isn't surprising it is the only building with student in its name. For Pete's Corner, I'm Samantha Semmer.
Well, we know that we've always had the greatest student union in the nation, but now we know what all went into creating it. Julie is sitting down with campus historian David Peters to talk about OSU history and a few fun facts about the OSU archive.
Some of my favorite things, we recently got a set of spurs that came from California, but they'd been made by Frank Eaton in Perkins, Oklahoma. A gentleman had contacted us. We have a number of images of the campus on glass plates, and glass lantern slides in various formats, and so I really enjoy the images and work with images quite a bit.
And everything in the past links somehow to the future. How do you think OSU's past is affecting us today?
I think we have traditions here that have lasted through generations, and it's really kind of an exciting thing that I think this institution and other land-grant institutions share as they try to reach out and help everyone with the situations they find themselves in.
Well, that's so exciting. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us, and we'll learn a little bit more about the past. Not far from OSU's library is the statue of Henry Bennett. Bennett served as the president of Oklahoma State University from 1928 to 1950, and he remains one of the most influential presidents in OSU's history.
And earlier today, I had the opportunity to sit down with our very own President Burns Hargis to discuss his role as president of the ever-changing Oklahoma State University. So I'm going to read a little bit about your bio that's on the Oklahoma State website, and I'm going to ask you a question about it.
Probably too inflated.
Burns Hargis has guided OSU to record enrollment and record fundraising, surpassing the $1 billion branding success campaign goal in April 2013, nearly 2 years ahead of schedule. He also is overseeing a construction boom that is transforming the OSU campus to be more competitive in academics and athletics. What do you want to add to that before this comes to an end?
Well, I really don't have goals, like specific goals in that respect, but what I want to do is make OSU or help make OSU the premier land-grant university in the country, and by that I mean not the biggest necessarily or the richest, but does the best job of fulfilling the land-grant mission of training great talent, doing great research, and sharing both with our state, the nation, and the world. And so I just want our students to graduate and go out in the world and serve the world, because land grants are really about service and giving everybody a chance. And if we do a good job of that, everything else takes care of itself.
Well, President Hargis, thank you so much for your time.
You bet. Glad to be here.
Well, President Hargis mentioned that his favorite thing is the students and the energy that he gets from them. The next place that we're taking you is somewhere that's known for having high levels of energy. And look who it is, Coach Underwood.
We're ready to get Gallagher Iber rocking.
So am I. Hope to see everybody there.
All right, we'll see you
Thank
soon.
you.
Enjoy your jog. We're standing in the middle of Gallagher Iber Arena. Some people would say that it's just like any other basketball court, but they would be wrong. There is truly something special about this place.
That's right, Julia. This is the original maple floor installed in 1938, making it the oldest court in any college or professional basketball arena in the nation.
But basketball is not the only sport that competes on this court. Our reporter, Jacob Hudson, found out how our wrestling program is making an impact all across the nation.
Sacrifice, discipline, honor. These words can be found inside the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Stillwater, right next to campus, and show the true meaning that a lot of former OSU wrestlers need to be a champion and even legends.
Here I am standing at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame with its new $3.8 million renovation. The renovations include new exhibits and more interactive viewings for students and young children to learn about wrestling at an Olympic and more collegiate level.
All along the walls, you will find all of the outstanding wrestling athletes, on and off the mat. Some that went to Rome and some that earned the Nobel Peace Prize. You will also find active exhibits and even a room dedicated to show footage of wrestling matches with a search engine for you to find them. The Hall of Fame and Museum is dedicated to educating all people about wrestling and its history.
We like to tell people, if you're a fan of wrestling, you're going to love the Wrestling Hall of Fame. But even if you're not a big fan, if you're a big fan, you can really dig deep. We have a lot of great stuff.
Stillwater was picked for the museum because of Oklahoma State's legendary first years in college wrestling under head coach Edward Gallagher, winning 11 of the first NCAA team titles.
OSU does have more distinguished members than any other school, but OSU also has more NCAA titles than any other school. But the National Wrestling Hall of Fame is the same as the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, Basketball Hall of Fame in Springfield, Massachusetts, and the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. So we have distinguished members from all schools.
Still, the Wrestling Hall of Fame is a step into the legacy of legends and something to hold for the memory in America. Reporting for Pete's Corner, I'm Jacob Hudson.
We love having the best wrestling team in the country and the National Wrestling Hall of Fame right here in Stillwater.
Well, now that we've shown you a little bit of the history on OSU's campus, it's time to show you a little bit of the history right here in Stillwater. And we're going to start at none other than the world famous Eskimo Joe's. Stillwater's Jumpin' Little Juke Joint is a local tradition. But what is it that makes it so special? Our reporter, Sayer Patch, sat down with founder Stan Clark to see what Eskimo Joe's is all about.
Eskimo Joe's is a famous Stillwater restaurant that is popular for locals and attracts visitors from all over. But not many people would know that it's an overnight success story. Joe's was opened in July of 1975 when two recent OSU graduates decided to open a bar where anyone 18 and older could come and visit.
I knew we had something very special. Our fans, our friends, our guests were very, very loyal, came back again and again, bought a lot of t-shirts from us. And the business really grew till 1983 to where Eskimo Joe's had truly become Stillwater's Jumpin' Little Juke Joint, and we were rocking. It was really a great business.
Joe's was a successful bar from the get-go, but had to expand and add a restaurant in 1984.
The state legislature changed the drinking age from 18 to 21 in the fall of 1983. So in the spring of 1984, we opened our first kitchen to become a restaurant because we knew we could no longer be successful as just a bar.
After opening up the restaurant expansion, Clark realized that there was a huge demand for food and their business took off from there.
Eskimo
Joe's used to be in this little building, but with the expansion of the dome in 1992 and other expansions since has made Eskimo Joe's what it is today.
We started in 2010. And we started on the east side of the building, and then we came over here and did Joe's Clothes, and then we did the kitchen and the back end. Took 3¼ years. So we've pretty much covered up the entire footprint that we've got here on Elm Street.
Joe's has changed a lot over the years, but their main goal will never change. Putting a smile on customers' faces and connecting with the younger generation is one of Clark's favorite things.
Probably the greatest legacy of this place might be just how many young people we've been able to be a part of their lives. In 41½ years, we've employed literally tens of thousands of OSU students, and we've been a part of their experience.
Even though Joe's has changed in the past, they don't plan on any more major changes anytime in the near future. They love what Joe's has become. For Pete's Corner, I'm Sayer Patch.
Eskimo Joe's continues to serve today and lives on as Stillwater's jumpin' little juke joint.
Well, there's one other restaurant that has been around for a long time in Stillwater. In fact, when it opened, it was only the second restaurant of its kind in the state of Oklahoma. We sent Jaleesa Harris to find out the story behind Hideaway Pizza.
Hideaway Pizza opened in 1957 in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Its original location is in Stillwater at the corner of 3rd Street and Knobloch, which is close to the Oklahoma State University campus.
I've been with Hideaway Pizza here in Stillwater for 25 years now. When I started as a cook, and we were in about half the size building that we're in now. We started out with about 12 tables almost 60 years ago on 3rd Street in Stillwater. We were the second pizzeria in the state of Oklahoma.
Richard's simple philosophy was that making employees happy at their job and providing great pizza would make happy workers and customers.
So I really enjoy working here. It's a pretty laid-back environment. Everyone can really be themselves. Creates like a unique environment. And overall, it's definitely the best part-time job I've had since I've been in Stillwater. So.
The Hideaway does not only provide creative pizzas in a laid-back environment, they also have great shirts. I'll take 2 of those. Thank you. The Hideaway Pizza has expanded twice since 1957. There are now 14 Hideaways in Oklahoma, and they plan to open its first one in Arkansas. It now makes $300 million in revenue and shifted from student-oriented to more of a family-based environment.
We delivered to the dorms mostly, so pizza has kind of evolved from a student thing to, where we used to deliver just to students. Now it's more of a family place. Our pizza's a little more expensive than your average pizza, because we teach people to top it how you would like to eat it. We don't weigh a lot of ingredients out.
After almost 60 years of serving the Stillwater community, the Hideaway Pizza is still creatively growing and just as fun and colorful as when it first opened. For Pete's Corner, I'm Jaleesa Harrison.
Speaking of all this great food is making me really hungry. So can we fly through this next topic?
Absolutely. And speaking of flying, Stillwater residents have always been able to look up in the skies and see students and faculty flying over campus. Aviation majors have always been able to utilize the Stillwater Regional Airport for their classwork. But recently, Stillwater Regional Airport got a major update.
We have reporter Emily Brennan live from the Stillwater Regional Airport. Hi, Emily.
Hi, Julia.
Can you tell us a little bit about the updates that are taking place?
Well, the Stillwater Regional Airport recently partnered with a major commercial airline company to make traveling here in Stillwater even easier. I spoke to Airport Director Gary Johnson about the past, present, and future of the Stillwater Airport.
The Stillwater Regional Airport has played many roles in the Stillwater community, from starting airmail services in 1938 to being taken over by the military during times of war, and then to contracting a flight school in 1949. The airport has brought new opportunities since its beginning.
Well, this airport was actually constructed on this site in the mid-1940s and was a military training base. Like many airports around the country when the war effort was going on, there were military training bases constructed through the Navy and the Army, and it was utilized as a training base for pilots to support the war.
The newest opportunity being provided by the airport is American Airlines flights to Dallas-Fort Worth.
Okay, commercial flights to Dallas and to a hub like DFW will bring a lot of economic development to this community. It provides access from this community to the world globally, flights anywhere in the world that American flies. And then secondly, it connects the world to us. It is a tremendous game changer for North Central Oklahoma to have that right in your backyard.
The new partnership does more than just make traveling easier. It provides a learning experience for OSU aviation majors.
I think that is considered as a good experience for, student pilots who will, experience actual and commercial flights in the same traffic and pattern, which, I think add to their skills and communication with the tower and live in a traffic or who's, similar to airlines traffic.
The Stillwater Regional Airport has significantly changed since it was first established and will continue to grow with the needs of the Stillwater community.
Emily, can you tell us how Stillwater Airport's history has affected Stillwater as a whole?
The Stillwater Regional Airport has always tried to accommodate the needs of the community. Director Johnson told me that the recent partnership with American Airlines is the next step in meeting those needs.
Thank you so much, Emily.
Thanks, Julia.
Well, we've taken you from OSU's campus to Stillwater as a whole. We've gone from a cow pond turned student hangout favorite to a restaurant created by a guy's overnight idea.
Sometimes you have to understand the past to really grow in the future. We're really glad you joined us for this week's version of Pete's Corner, and we'll see you next week. I'm Julia Bimbrook.
And I'm Brandon Havens.
Thanks.